Morning. Not seeing my stream actually active though. This is weird. Okay, there it is. Morning. All right. Well, I guess welcome to day 3 of the demo account. I've emailed TradeNet to get my live account, and they have not gotten back to me yet. So I'm just waiting on that, I guess, and I'll continue to use the demo account until then. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional trader or even consider myself a successful trader. Just a guy that's been teaching himself the stock market for about 9 months now. I'm currently trading with TradeNet on a $500 intro account. I'm up. Where am I up? I was up 2,200 or something. Now I'm at 1,700 because I've had two 500. I'm already down $256 today because I decided to swing trade USLV last night on its trend. I was hoping it would come down, and it has ripped up high, up to its 100-day fib. So we'll see what happens if it pulls back before the open. If it crashes back down, maybe I can cover some profits. If it starts going north towards the 100 fib, I'll probably get out and wait for it to bounce and then short it, because I do like these parabolic moves like this. I really enjoy playing them if it hits the 100 fib. But I was giving it some thought yesterday as to my mistakes and the things that I was doing wrong. One was over trading. Two was entering into ranges midway instead of waiting for solid plays, and then also not setting my alerts and missing out on some really good plays. So today I'm going to focus on cutting back on my overall trades. I'm going to stick to just doing 2 trades in the morning and then maybe 1 trade in the afternoon. And I'm going to look for the best possible setups that I can find. Morning, everybody. All right, real quick, I'm going to make a thumbnail for this video. Because my font types are finally working. All right, that's fine. Let's do it right there. I'm still waiting on live account. I've emailed them, but they haven't gotten back to me. Lathy G. Okay. Oh, save that. Oh, there it is. All right. Yep, USLV is ripping up. I'm stuck in it, down 250 bucks, almost $300. 900 shares in. I'm not gonna let it affect me emotionally though. I made a mistake and should have waited for more of a confirmation to swing it low. I should have probably waited till the break of the 50 EMA or the 50 fib. Another thing I was thinking about yesterday though too was keeping my drawings accurate. Um, so I think every single day I'm going to redo my drawings and start with a fresh view because I just need to have them up to date and I need to look at everything objectively, every single trade. So we're gonna go through my main 6 ETFs and delete them all. Okay, let's start with USLV because we're already in USLV. So it's overall descending pattern. Let me throw on the 4-hour. Overall descending pattern. We've got a trend line here. It's actually pretty close to its long trend line. So this might be the high point for it right here. We'll see if it is able to break out. So there's the overall trend for the 4-hour. Looks like the 200 is a solid resistance line. It's hit it multiple times. See if we can draw a price line off that 200. That's the 200 right there. Let's do some 10-minute fibs. All right, I'm going to try to change these colors to be even less noticeable because they're very predominant. Get them any darker. That's almost black. You can't even see that. See if that declutters. Makes it very faint. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, let's leave that. Let's drop these, get this gold down a little bit more. Can't. Yeah, I can. There we go. So really faint fibs, that way it's not so visually there. I wish Thinkorswim would allow you to adjust the opacity. That would be so much easier. Can you guys see it in the stream? It might be too dark for you to even really see on the stream, depending on the quality, if you're watching on a phone or not. Okay, so USLV might be hitting its high right now. Again, I made the same mistake on USLV as I did JNUG, trying to trade mid-range off of its trend. So this is my mistake. So let's review real quick why I'm losing $300 today on USLV. I bought in here at the 50 on the bounce, thinking it was going to short down because I was looking at this micro trend here instead of the overall 4-hour trend. So my trend line was drawn here, and we had this consolidation, and I thought that this was going to be the trend. My mistake was not looking back farther into history and seeing this major trend off of the highs over the 200 move average. And I should have seen this. I should have paid attention to the 200 move average here. This right here on the daily chart is an extremely important resistance line. If we Whenever a stock pulls up to the 200 and it doesn't collapse back down, it's more than likely going to break north. So right here, this day is this right here. If I click on the trend line, I keep clicking the fib. So this red line right here, you see it touching the red? This is this pre-market right here, which is almost the exact 200 move average. So it hits this and it bounces and rebounds back down to its bottom trend. Comes back up. It doesn't quite touch it, but it pretty much does, almost to the 200. And it comes back down, and then we get another pull, and it kind of just consolidates and then eventually pops post-market. So my mistake was not looking at the overall trend, not playing the overall range. So today, we're not going to do that. And it's getting pretty close to its high. And I'm going to treat my position on USLV as if it doesn't even exist today. Let's see so it's high on the RSI on 10 minutes. Got a very bullish pattern on the DMI. It rarely punches through. It's already overextended on the 200, and it's a descending pattern overall on the 200 move average. I'm probably going to short it at the open at like 10.29 or something. try to, or 1030 somewhere around there. Try to get a good entry because it is overextended, and I like overextended plays like this, just like this one right here where it's overextended, bounces off the low of the trend line, and then pulls back to the 200. So we'll do a small size of, let's see, what's the range on this? 1020 down to 950, 995. So 30-cent move, 400 shares, be $130, somewhere around there. All right, so that's USLV. We've got 12 minutes. I kind of woke up late. Let's check out LabD, which has been crashing. Not terribly overextended. It's just slowly chugging away. Let's check out LabU. LabU looks a little more overextended than LabD, but it isn't close to its highs, so I'll draw a daily fib and just leave it at that. Not really interested in LabU until it gets up to the 100 fib. It's mid-range, not trading mid-range. Check out UVXY. It's descending because that's what UVXY does. Had some pops. No, not interested in that. Degaz. LabU. Yeah, LabU had a massive drop and a pullback. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on what LabU does. It probably will break this resistance line. I'll throw it up on my 9 watch. Okay, Degaz is descending. It's popped above its 50, so it's probably going to go long. Well, maybe. It always struggles once it gets above the 50. Let's see, I made a pullback. It might go long. Let's try to get some trends going. A solid resistance line here. Really just playing the range. I'm not even going to draw those. I'm just going to do fibs. It doesn't have a pattern right now. This is TOS. Think or swim. All right, JNUG. JNUGs. Got a bit of an ascending triangle. JNUG's getting squeezed right now on the 50. It looks like it's popped the 50 on the 4-hour. Not something I'm interested in trading right now because it's such a tight. Oil is way underextended. This might actually be an interesting buy opportunity. Check out the daily, because most people trade the daily. Oh, eye tracker, yep. Oil number today too. There it is. Looks like my eye tracker's off again. Let me recalibrate it. Ah, it's still off. I need to get a better mount for my eye tracker. Oh well, we don't have much time, so I'll deal with that later. Oil number today too. Keep that in mind. Oil report. Is that what you're talking about, Fisher, Landon? I know natural gas reports come out on Thursday. Let's see. I'm gonna keep an eye out on this because it might be a decent long today. UPRO. So UPRO making new highs slowly. But if we do a trend analysis, it's on its high of its trend, so I'm not really interested in buying that. If it pulls back down and dips, that might be something I'm interested in. But I don't want to short UPRO because it's UPRO. That'd be counter trend trading because it's a market cap index. How did I do yesterday? I'm down 250 yesterday, and now I'm down to 75 today because I swung USLV trading mid range instead of trading the high range, not paying attention to the 4-hour trends. So yeah, mistakes were made. So now let's take a look at penny stocks real quick. MTCI, that's not anything I'm interested in. Let me check my real quick. AETI, let's see. Low float watch. CODX is on its low of its trend, so it might be going long today on CODX back up to, well, got not the greatest volume. AETI, same thing. This might be a good long. This is a, let me redraw my fibs. Always redraw my fibs every morning. So one of the patterns I learned from Decmar trades is called the mid candle breakout, which is basically the 50% move of the candle on the daily. So if we go to the daily mid candle, well, it had a pretty high wick, so that's not very strong. But mid candle would be somewhere like right here, or if you want to do this, the actual candlestick, it'd be right about here. And typically, stocks will go long once they hit the 50. Yeah, we'll see what it does. If it does go long, that's 55 to $2. I'll probably sell out half there. So we'll set an alert. If it does, I'm going to throw it up on my side screen. AETI. OPGN. Let's check out. All right, my fibs are still good on OPGN. It is at the 100 fib. Um, I set an alert just to see if it starts running up. Not something I'm going to watch, but I'll keep an eye on it. All right, now let's go through MTech. Codex is the highest volume gap up right now. MRH, small pop, $1.50. Not really something I. Then Momo. Momo did not. It might break down. It's kind of. It's severely overextended already on the daily. We will see. Redraw the fibs. To break down. We'll see what it does. I'm waiting for the short on Momo. This will be good play when it happens. AMD getting closer to its high. Great alert. Watch it. See what it does today. Do another alert. Yeah, decent short. MU consolidating. We might have a long day today, or short. MRH, not interested in that. I'm going to take that off my X. Man, this COD X is a dangerous play with such a 12 million float. It's very choppy. We'll watch it though, see what it does. I'm not really interested in trading it. I was interested in trading it when it hit the high, which I missed by yesterday. So for those that are tuning in today for the first time, I set an alert here at 667, 1 cent off the high of the day. And I was going to short it. That would have been a $1 move right there. So that would have covered all the losses that I've made yesterday and some of it today. But my alert was set to high by 1 cent. That was frustrating. All right, let's go to USLV, see what it's doing. Yeah, it's right up to its top, 1030. It's already at 1030. I'm gonna load up 300 shares. No, let's do 200 at $10. It'll be $2,000. 1036. I'm treating my entry from yesterday as if it doesn't even exist because it's still a good short play because it's so overextended. Got a ton of sellers at 1030. Let's see if I can get in at 1030. 1031. We have an order in for 1033 short. See if we can get it. That'll be 3 cents off of the 10-day high, which was 1030. So it might run up to 1036, but we'll see. Oh, is it still saying day zero? Well, I guess I need to rename. Day 0.3 live trading demo account. Again. Well, if my stocks will load, yeah, it looks like OPGN. Set another alert. So the play I'm looking for here is called a gap fill. If it breaks this 100 fib, it'll run up to 365, so that's a 60 cent move right there, but we'll see if it's got enough pressure to do that. Back to USLV. 33, I've got my short order in. 34, 35, 36. Now, if it breaks, let's plan ahead. If it breaks this resistance level, $10.36. Next resistance level is $10.60, so that's a 30-cent move. If it hits $10.40, I'm cutting out completely. I'm already down enough on it, and it has potential to move another 30 cents. That'll just be way too much of a loss for me. It's too much risk, but it looks like we got a good entry. It's coming back down. Let's check out what it did last time. So tapered and slowly kind of, it chopped. It wasn't a clean move down last time it touched the highs. So we're going to expect this to extend out here for a bit before it starts to break down. So we just have a small position right now. Wait to see what happens. It's still overextended on the SAR parabolic here, this little dot on the 10-minute. So this is going to have to get up here more before we'll start to see the breakdown. So this will probably happen around 10:30. I'm going to set an alert just above this at 10:39. And let's look for, so I said I'm going to make 2 trades in the morning, and that's it. So we need to find a really, really, really good setup. AMD is getting pretty close to its high. And it's way overextended already. So this is a huge move up. So this is going to be, whenever you have a huge move one way, you're going to have a counter move the other way. It's just a matter of when and catching it. Let me turn on my study. We'll let the morning volatility go down. We're only 5 minutes into the open, so I'm not going to be entering into anything crazy. The only reason I entered into USLV is because I like those high overextended pops up to the trends in 100 fibs. SVX1. SVXY is hitting its high. But SVXY is a VIX ETF, and I'm not super comfortable trading those. Or that. See if we got any high runners. Mid, it's a huge gap up. Axion. Axiovant. So this is a biomedical. It's already up 100%. It's not enough for me to be confident in shorting it. This might just be a pullback. We'll see what it does. So it's at 34. It's got room to run. The Should I wait for Axion, a short play on Axion, or short AMD? Because AMD, I could swing AMD probably short. It's already very overextended. Hey Ricky Z. Axon is not, it's 100,000 float, so it's not going to be a huge runner like other low float stocks. %. So let's talk about the setup here. Axion is in the mid of its gap fill. Typically, when a stock gaps up, when it gaps down like this, and then it has a pop up to this resistance line right here, or gaps up above it, which it's done, it has the potential to fill way up to this $5 mark. So on the daily chart, it has the potential. It's mid-range on either way, so it could go either way. It's not crashing too hard, so this might just be like a little cup and handle for the morning. So it's kind of it's not a solid 100% trade. MU is cracking again. Looks like it might be pulling back. It's dropping hard fast. And it's done this two times already. Opening bell. So you have a huge pull here, and then a rip back up. We'll see how deep this thing goes. We might be able to play it for a bounce play. Wait. Set an alert. I want it to have a huge pull down though. I want it to look like these two patterns. It's got to drop a lot for me to be interested in it. Go back to AMD. I'm thinking AMD might be my other play for the day. Let's check out USLV. Still just sitting there right at the 1035. It's starting to fade out, but we'll see. KNUG. Check out silver futures real quick. Wow, silver futures is also at its high. Broke a little bit above the high, but it's nothing to worry about too much. You know what? I am going to cut out of USLV because I am trading against the trend still, even though it's at its highs. I'm going to take Ricky's approach, which is do not trade until you see a solid confirmation that the trend is going to be going the other way. So if I lose out, it's better to wait for the trend confirmation than to lose money trying to hit the perfect. Because I think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hit the perfect entry, and that's not a smart way to trade. So it's at 34. That's a 1 cent loss overall. So we're already down from the swing trade, $360 for the day. Stupid move on trading midway on the range. Axion has got, see, so yep, this is what I was talking about. It's midway between its gap fill, so it doesn't quite know what it's doing yet, but it looks like it's going long. If it breaks the $4 mark, if it hits 405, I will probably wait for a pullback and play it long up to I'll sell out half at 450 and then the other half at 475. So, but this should be a good long trade if it continues its trend up. Create an alert. All right, so we're gonna get ready on Axion. 170-cent move, 400 shares. It's a high float stock, so it's not going to rip super hard. We'll do a 400 initial and then a 400 add if we have a good pullback. I'm going to throw it on the 1 minute. Bring this over a little bit. We're getting a pullback. Six. I'm going to downsize my order and try to get in on this pullback. 200 shares. It's already kind of pulled back to the high side. Try to get a buy-in at 368. See if we can get the fill. We already missed the pullback though. Yeah, it's not. AMD breaking down. It's starting to. I wouldn't say it's breaking down yet. But 1 minute, it's. I want to see it. I want to wait for a little more of a confirmation because it has. When it pulls red hard. I mean, you can see right here this huge red day. Big red days there, big red day there, big red day there. So when it goes red hard. So we got plenty of potential for profit on a short on AMD. Just be patient. USLV, it's go back to USLV because I didn't set an alert on USLV. Or when it breaks below my yellow line, I will be more interested in a short. Right now, it's going to consolidate, and I don't want to fight. I could scalp it, like how I made that money the other day. Scalp from 1037 down to 1032 because it'll probably consolidate here for a while, which I did make good money on that one scalp. Axion. So we're getting a bull flag right here. Something's about to happen with Axion. $376. Which way is it going to go? Get my eye tracker to stay. I tilt my head this way. Nope, still wandering. I think UStockTrade, Ivo, UStockTrade is based out of the U.S. I don't know. I'm not the guy to ask for outside the U.S. stuff because I live in Indiana, which is in the middle of nowhere. What was the pre-market high? Okay, so this is the high right now. If it breaks 390, it'll be making new highs. Yeah, if anybody that gets into TradeNet, let them know that or that you're watching my stream. That's how you heard about it. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't have any kind of like promotional stuff or anything like that. I just I do my YouTube as a business. I like to build relations. Thanks, Ivo. All right, looks like we're gonna get a pop any second now. They should be up, Steven. They should be live. So what I'm gonna do when I do my first live account or live day, I'm going to explain all this, but I don't want my YouTube channel to be cluttered with a year from now have like a 300 something videos of me live streaming and trading and just you not be able to navigate my YouTube channel if you're wanting to watch other videos. So every week I'm probably going to do a weekly recap that's going to cover all of those days, and I will have links in the description to the actual live trading day. So you can watch the recap video, which will be like 15 minutes, and I'll cover the basics. But if you want to watch the live trading, you can click the link in the description so you can see all of the videos. So they'll be unlisted on my channel, but you'll still be able to get the links by watching the overview videos every week. And then I'll probably, okay, here we go. See if it breaks $4. It's not going to rip super fast because it's 100 million float. So we're not going to have these huge, massive, fast pops, which I prefer personally like because it reduces your risk. You're not going to get blown up quickly. But yeah, so once I'll probably do monthly recap videos too, maybe, and declutter my videos even more, but we'll see. 6. All right, I'm going in at 406. What was my fill? 405. Let's do add another 400 shares. On the next leg, we'll probably add. So we'll see where the bull flag goes. I'll need a pullback, a solid pullback on the 1 minute. So we're looking, let me set my price lines. I'm going to sell half at 346 and then half at I don't know, this gap fill could go all the way up to $5. Half at 475. Then the last resistance line's right there. So if we can get a pullback and a flag here around the 424 mark. Actually, it's already. Let's try to get a market fill or a limit fill at 416. 415, 413. It's all right. So we're getting a pullback right now. I can quick finger it. So I got in another 400 shares at 412. So I'm in 800 shares total. My average is 409. So it's coming back down. So now I'm losing. But this is just it's looking like it's a pullback. I probably need to turn off my Heiken and Ash candlesticks. No, not bars. I don't like bars. Yeah, we're getting a pullback. This is the next flag. As long as it doesn't break down below the $4 mark, I'm feeling pretty solid. Row 3. Stronger pullback than I thought. I should have so this is just from inexperience. 100 mil float. You're not going to have huge rips, and it will probably bounce on the quarters. So you'll have a bounce off. If we look back here, this is a 350 $half. So pull hits 380 here, and it comes back down to 365, and it consolidated at 3 3/4 for a while, then popped up to 394, so we're almost at $4. So it's popping and bouncing around the $0.25. So keep that in mind next time I trade a 100 mil gap fill. Do I play the VWAP study? I do, but I have a better study that I like right now. These lines, this yellow line, but the VWAP is a solid study. Let's throw it on there. Yeah. So it's going to climb back up to the 424 mark, consolidate for a bit, and then probably pop again. It's up 130 on the day, so this might be a bit risky. It's a gap fill though, so there's no resistance. So I don't really, not too familiar on playing a gap fill that's ran up this much already. Typically they run up to the 200 move average or the last resistance line, but yeah, I can't talk about the study, unfortunately, guys. It's something that was given to me as a gift, and the guys that developed it asked me to not speak about it. So here we go, and I'm gonna respect that because I want people to be able to trust me to send stuff and me not just give it away freely. USLV is still hitting 1030s. JNUG's broke out of its range. All the other ETFs aren't doing anything today. LabVIEW's not doing anything. ATI is not doing anything. Momo might be breaking down for a short in a little bit. I'm gonna throw up AMD. AMD is still tapering around 230s. Should I get out? So we got one flag, another. This is the third flag. Usually, I've seen penny stocks, but this isn't a penny stock technically. Third flags fail. It's already up 100% in the day. I just don't know a whole lot about. I'm gonna try to sell out half right there. So I locked in $180 profit just because this is the third flag, but it is a 100 mil float, so maybe it's just more of a momentum trade than a flag trade. Looks like I made a mistake. It's already up. It's already hitting 430. Gap trading, look for the charts with huge gaps and do technicals on it. It's quite difficult to do, and you need a lot of practice for it. Yeah, I watched Dekmar trades. One of his favorite setups was these gap fill trades, but it's already up 150%. So it's kind of it's testing it for me. It's pretty. It's ran up pretty damn high. It's just not something I have a lot of experience with, so my lack of experience is making me nervous. But it's looking like I shouldn't have sold out because I would be up $400 right now. All right, it hit the $0.25. I'm going to sell out the rest. $250 profit. That makes my loss on USLV, my swing loss, much more acceptable. I could try to scalp this again, get back. I could set a buy order at like 425 because it's going to pull back to the $0.25 probably. It might not. It might just keep running, but I know we can play this. Nope, it's going to keep running. We will. I'm going to wait for it to get up to its high on these resistance lines, and I'll probably play it short after that because it's up 150% now, so it's going to be a good short play. So we can keep playing this. Get 400 shares loaded. Market order. 50. The gaps are on the daily chart down here. This right here is a gap down for whatever bad news came out and it ripped down, or maybe it was a stock split. Stock splits are a better gap fill, but you have to go back and like check the actual news that happened this day. And then you have a long consolidation period. Usually, when the 50 move average gets down here close, you get a little pop. So this is the pop that happened, and it kind of just does whatever. And then you have news come out. News makes it gap up huge, and then it runs up more all the way up to fill the gap fill. So this setup right here on the daily chart is a gap fill, and then you also have a gap fill here, which this I don't. That might be news, but that's a huge gap down. So this might be a stock split. You know, stock splits are stock splits usually because it's half of whatever the other price was. So this was $23 here. This might have been news. This is $7 now. So, but they sometimes they do ratio splits. They don't do like a solid 50% cut. So yeah, I could have tried to enter at 225. It might pull back up, but it's ran up so much already. We'll see. We'll see if it breaks down. No chicken dinners. Got close though when I was playing duos. Oh, Momo. Here we go. We're getting a breakdown. So it's looking like Momo's going to go south for the day. It's overextended. It's broken its trend. Let's go to the 4-hour. This is going to be a better play for me right now. It's got a pullback, a micro pullback right now. 497 down to, so it's a 50. That's a 20-cent move right there. It's at 461. I'm going to short Momo. This will be a long play for the day. See, yeah, so we have a pop high, faded, it failed on the high. It's breaking through its trend. It's already overextended a lot on the daily. So this will just be a slow runner for the day. Third. It'll probably pull back up to the blue move average. It's 9 EMA. I'm going to turn off my VWAP because this is too many studies. Yeah, don't quit your job, Dwight. I quit my job and blew up $15,000 in savings and racked up $10,000 in credit card debt. And there was nights where I was literally just laying in my bed staring at the ceiling because I could not sleep. I was so stressed out because I could not pay my bills. AETI is if your only source of income, if you only have one source of income, you should not lose that source of income. If you have passive income coming in some way, like if you own rentals or have a YouTube channel that makes you money, then it's more safe and stable to quit your job to pursue what you want. But I would suggest building passive income that is somewhat steady and have money in the bank before you ever think about quitting your 9 to 5. And also, you lose insurance and some other benefits when quitting your job, which you need to factor in, especially if you have like kids or a wife or something. I was able to continue to do my trading. Okay, it looks like we might be having the fall part. It might be breaking down now. But yeah, I own my own house, and I have 2 roommates that rent from me, so that helps me cover my mortgage and my rent, so I can live almost dirt cheap. My car insurance and phone bill is almost nothing. My overall expenses for the month are like $500 after the budget's done. I'm paying off my credit card debt, so that's like $200 a month, so that sucks. But eventually I'll get down to like less than $500 a month to live. And I learned that having a high-paying job is not nearly as efficient at becoming rich as it is having multiple streams of income. So when I talked about my day trading strategies, where I'm going to have 3, where I go long for market cap indexes, and then I swing trade, and then I also have my intraday trading. I'm treating all 3 of those as 3 separate sources of income in the stock market, as if they're their own individual lines of income. Then I have my rentals, or my house, which I rent out, which is also a source of income. I have my 3D printer and engineering side money that I make from still doing freelance manufacturing, which is another source of income. Then I have YouTube, which is another source of income. And then, yeah, that's about it right now. So I've got like 6 sources of income, and my life is infinitely better now. Okay, this is the crack, so I might load up on the short here for Axion. Should I wait for a solid confirmation? It's up 130% on the day. What's it going to fade to, though? I don't even know if I should play. Probably should, because they always fade, but with a gap fill, if this is a regular runner, I would play the short, but I'm not familiar with gaps, so I'm not going to play a chart that I don't know. Rule number 1, don't play a chart you don't know. Stop trading, Dwight. Alright, I made my trades. Let's see what AMD is doing. It's cracking down. If it breaks that yellow, I might short AMD, because we've got 2 good short plays today, AMD and Momo. Momo. Maybe not. Maybe not on Momo. That's a pretty heavy crack on Momo. It might be consolidation day. It still might not break down, so might be premature in Momo. It's there. It's wanting to, but all right. My limit's going to be the 50 move average. If it breaks the 50 move average, I'm getting out. That's going to be my stop loss. It wants to crack down, and it looks like it's doing a descending triangle. That might be just a volatility spike. That might just be like an anomaly, but we'll see. Let's go back to the 3 minutes and throw my Heikin Ashi candles, because I get shaken out a lot less when I'm using Heikin Ashi candles. Yeah, don't let trading be your only source of income. If your goal is to become rich or have lots of money and do what you want, you need multiple sources of income because one, stress, the mental stress and the tax that it puts on you to only have one source of income is extremely high. I mean, if you have I have seven, six something sources of income. If I lose one of them, I'm not too worried because I can make money elsewhere, and I'm confident that I can make it work. You want to put your money into there's three types of money. There's wage money, um, passive money, and then compounding money. And they can be a combination of all three. So wage money is the worst type of money you can make because one, you have to pay 30% income tax on every dollar you make, and uh, it's you can only make so much. Like even if you're the best surgeon in the United States, you can only make so much money doing that, and you have to put 1 hour in for X amount of dollars every single time. You only make money while you're actually spending time doing that thing. So you're always selling your time to make that money no matter what. And that's a very bad deal, especially with 30% taxes. Now, if you're a professional or if you own your own business and you do your own enterprise, then you can have your company buy stuff with its money that it makes and avoid the income tax. So a lot of rich people will own a company or multiple companies, and they'll have their company buy all of their stuff. Even like my house, I could set up an LLC and put my house in it, and then any of the money that it makes, I could use tax free. So I have to pay taxes right now on my rent money that is given to me because I don't have it LLC'd. It is considered a source of income into my personal name. If I started a LLC that was a rental company and that cost like $700, I could. And again, I'm not a tax. But let me preface this: I'm not a tax person, so this is not advice on what you should do. You should always check your own laws because it's going to be different from what state you're in. But this is what I would do, and I'm going to do when I have when it's financially feasible for me. I'm going to put this house in an LLC. All the money that it makes is going to be tax free. I will buy another house with that tax free money, or buy a vehicle because I have to travel and do maintenance and stuff. That'll all be tax exempt from my income source because it's the company's buying it. And that's one way to get around the income tax, or at least that's what rich people do. And then that's wage money. The second one is passive money, which would be rentals. YouTube would be a semi-passive source because I still have to make videos and manage the channel, but it's mostly passive, and YouTube is also compounding. So as I make more videos and more subscribers and more viewers, that will generate and grow. So it scales much more efficiently than a wage job, which you have to ask for a raise, and you're at you're subservient to your boss and what he wants to pay you, and also the market. So, and real estate is true passive money because you can buy it, rent it out, and then that money comes in every single month, no matter what, and it's a very stable source of passive money. It's banks love real estate and they love giving people loans on real estate because it is such a solid investment plan. It's the stock market. You can make lots of money, and the stock market is a compounding source of money, and it can be passive depending on the strategies that you use if you're doing a long-term investing strategy. But doing it's still a risk thing. You can't go to the bank and get a loan for the stock market because it's too damn volatile. With real estate, it's one of the most stable, and it's been around since the feudal age. Like land investment has been one of the most solid markets you could possibly be in for the past 500 years. So yeah, there's wage money, passive money and then compounding money. You want to build passive money and compounding money and get away from wage money. You want to use the wage money to supplement into passive and compounding. And if you're young and have credit and you have decent roommates, I would highly recommend buying a house and renting it out, and then having your roommates pay your mortgages, which most of the money for the first few years goes into your interest and not into principal. But eventually, if you pay extra into the house, you will pay off the principal, and then you can use that principal to buy another house and rent it out, and it scales. The more money your real estate generates, the more you can buy more real estate, and then it just grows exponentially. But yeah, that's how rich people do it. And if you, yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I've read like 6 or 7 of those books. When I blew up my 15K in savings and then racked up the $10,000 in credit card debt and totally failed at my plan on starting a YouTube channel and doing my own freelance engineering, I had to go back to work at the manufacturing facility, the foundry. If anybody hasn't seen it, I'll link to you where I used to work. So I had to go back to the foundry and run CNC machines for about 5 months, and I was just absolutely pissed at myself that I had failed and not achieved what I wanted to do, because this was something that I was building up and working to for like 2 years before I actually quit my job. I was studying as much time as I spent studying the stock market. I spent twice as much studying videography and YouTube and trying to build my YouTube channel. And to have that, idea and dream fail was just fucking sucked. So that's where I used to work. See, I will talk to you why I haven't monetized super heavily on my YouTube channel, and I'm not promoting and doing like the affiliate stuff like a lot of people are. I am affiliate with Ricky's course, but that's only because I really like his course and I made money with it instantly, and it's a very successful course. I only promote things that are very successful or that I find are profitable for people. All right, I'm not liking this Momo trade. It's not. It looks like it's going to be consolidation day and not a breakdown day. So it's touching the 50. If it hits 89, I'm getting out. So yeah, back to quitting my job, and yeah, I'm getting out. So $60 loss there. So $200 on the day. We'll see if we can find. What's JNUG doing? UPro's got a big collapse down. I might be able to play that long. So UPro, we got some choppiness again. It's looking like it's doing the exact same thing it did yesterday. 468 to, so that's a 20-cent move. If it pops up above the red and the move average, I might play it long. Yeah, that's one of the things that sucks. They'll get gains. I don't like. I was lucky enough to work for my father. So the place that I worked at was started by my grandfather in 1947. He was a mahogany pattern maker. So he literally started the business that I worked in a chicken coop in his backyard in his farm. And that grew into a foundry in the 50s, and then a CNC shop in the 90s or the late 80s. What am I doing? Yeah, so Momo's just got a consolidation day. I might be able to play. Comes up here. I might be able to play the bounce because, yeah. So I was lucky enough to work for my father, and I mean, usually it's not working for your family doesn't work out, but luckily we got along really well for many years. But eventually, I got tired of it. All right, so yeah, I'm not even going to mess with Axion because I'm not familiar with. We'll see what it does for the end of the day. Usually, working for family sucks though. AMD. Garen, why credit card? Why not friends and family? I don't ask people for money. I don't do that. Um, that ties in with why I don't advertise so much on my YouTube channel or do a whole bunch of promotion stuff. I'm a big fan of building relations in business. That's one thing I learned working in manufacturing is that the best deals come from people that you just like and trust for some reason. And when you have somebody trying to constantly sell you something and it's constant high pressure and constant marketing, there's some kind of like disconnect between the person you're talking to and yeah, they make lots of money, but I'm a big fan of uh, Gary V's philosophy on selling, where he builds a lot of rapport with his customers and clients and truly is interested in getting to know them and help them or do something for them rather than just taking their money. So there's two types of salesmen really when you get down to it. There's the type that want to help you make your business better because they understand that by doing so they will also make money. It's short-term thinking versus long-term thinking. Whenever I meet a high-pressure salesman, I know they don't really give a shit. I know that they just want money and they're just trying to get money out of me so that they can get down the road to the next guy versus someone who is more long-term focused and wants to, work with you for 30 years and you guys make lots of money through that 30 years. I gravitate towards that style of marketing and promotion more than just doing high pressure money grabs. So people have asked me if I'm going to do a trading course or charge for live streaming right now. I think I'm the only person that's live streaming that I'm aware of trading right now for free. And I'm just going to do a lot of stuff for free. And eventually, I think that'll help me in the growth sector more. I'm not going to make a lot of money because I'm giving it away for free, but it will grow exponentially faster than if I was having to charge people for it because there's already a lot of people out there charging for it. And then down the road, a year or two from now, if I do decide to make a trading video or course, uh, it will probably sell really well. It will sell better at that point than it would me just making it now and trying to hawk it off to every single person that watches. Oh, my credit card debt, I could pay it off. My monthly income is stable and good enough that I could knock it down substantially and be okay. I couldn't completely wipe it out, but I would rather have money in the bank and have cash flow that I could spend on stuff rather than paying off on my credit card debt, because I'm chunking it down quite a bit. I'm paying almost double to triple every month on the minimum, so it'll be out of here within a year. But yeah, it does. It's credit card debt sucks. All right, UPro. I'm talking too much. I probably missed any of the entries that I could have possibly gotten because it's getting to be at 10:30 right now. This is where the market's going to start slowing down. So UPro bounced 3 times. Would have been a decent play. You know what? I'm up $200 on the day, disregarding the USLV swing. Wait a second. USLV breakdown and I didn't see it. Okay, if USLV, so I got feared out of USLV. It did what I thought it was going to do, which was bounce off its range. But so USLV is way overextended. I will play this if it cracks the 210, or we'll see how it goes. I would like it to consolidate and we get a descending triangle here. So I want it closer to the move average, but I don't want it to crack too hard because that will be a solid long or short for the day. So we'll see what happens. I do not have a journal going yet. I need to do that probably today. We might do that for afternoon. I might just build a spreadsheet live with you guys and show you how. I've never done it. Well, I've built spreadsheets, but I've never specifically built a trade log. We'll have to have. I'm trying to think of all the detail. I know I can export my trades through this. USLV is cracking. 10 cents down to a 30-cent move. We had a big red day the last time this happened. I'm going to try to get in for a 25, that's 400 shares, $100. I got in at got in at 210. I'm looking for a $100 move, a 25-cent move. 400 shares will be $100 down to the $10 mark around here, somewhere around the 50. My stop loss is going to be $25, so that'll be, what would that be? 5 cents, 4 cents. So break. Now we'll do the 50 move average. Is there a way to set alerts off of a study? Does anybody know if that's a thing? I know you just study move average day, but that's not. I don't want the day. One minute. That's solid advice, Jason. Yeah, I was covered fundamentally in USLV yesterday. I was covered fundamentally, uh, somewhat psychologically, but definitely not technically. I was mid range on the technical, and that is dangerous to swing. Yeah, is there a way to set alerts off a study? I know TradeView, you can do that. All right. USLV is going the way I want it to go. AMD is Axion still going? Yeah, looks like we're getting an ascending triangle. If you go to the 5 minute, it's probably an ascending triangle. The bull flag, tinier bull flag, it's gonna bounce off the 50 and then eventually squeeze and pinch. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, I wish I could turn off the ring. I don't know how. AMD is hitting its highs though. Um, If this was a consolidation day, I might be able to play it short. $0.15 range. Tomorrow might be the red day for AMD. It looks like this might just be another green day. AMD, let's do a trend line. Bring it down to 20. I'm going to do a 10-cent scalp on AMD. It's not going to pop. It shouldn't pop. It's way too slow of a stock to pop. 15 cents out of 1,000 shares, that'll be $150. Limit price to 31 short. Come on. Not going to let me. Should have entered this earlier. All right, let's go back to market. 31. I shorted at 32. We're in 1,000 shares on 32. Looking for it to come back down to this trend line, 15-cent move. Don't tell me it's going to pop off that. It should consolidate back down. Yep, MU ended up doing exactly 858, 50-cent move, that huge pullback. Wait a second, why didn't my alert go off? 58.32, it hit a low 53. The exact same thing happened to me yesterday with ATI. My alert didn't go off. I missed my entry on this long. That is frustrating. I just traded in the NASDAQ. That's what most. You have the NYSE, which is the old school guys standing in the pit, yelling at each other. Then NASDAQ is the online one, this one. And then there's all kinds of other markets throughout the world, but NASDAQ's the one I trade on. Oh, I actually have to get a 3D print job running today. I forgot about that. So if you guys want to see my manufacturing stuff and how I make castings, gotta get that done. Alright, so here comes the reversal on AMD. I need to pay more attention to candlesticks. I bought in it when we were still having solid candlestick rips ups. I should have waited for the taper like this, especially at 10:45. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to get good at range trading, which probably should trade it long instead of short. I'm not not liking this AMD. It should have broken down. And I am trading against the trend on the upside. How many trades have I had? Four. One, I seem to be making money on penny stocks more than my range trading strategy. Yeah, needing that SAR parabolic to flip. The move average is about to level out and pull back, but we'll see. Um, Depends on the type of trade. Amplify. I waited for confirmation on my Axion trade, which was a penny stock. But if I'm trying to play a range or a trend, I will try to get a much tighter stop. Um, Apparently, it's not working out too well for me though today. This might be the next leg up on AMD, and I might have. Don't run. SENS. Would I recommend learning to trade rather than college? I would treat college like a business venture nowadays because it's so damn expensive. If you're getting your college paid for, um, perfectly fine to go to college. If you're having to pay for it all out of pocket, you need to weigh how much you're going to make coming out of it versus how much debt you're going to acquire and how long it's going to take you to pay it off. Um, a lot of people go into college not factoring in the financial point of it, and if you go to college to get a job for 60 grand a year and you've got 120 grand in debt, you're going to be working for like 10 years of your life away, 40 hours a week before you ever get that paid off. Um, Trading, I would suggest anyone learn to trade. There's all kinds of different strategies and styles out there for pretty much anybody. All right, this is the next leg up. I'm getting out of this while I can. So again, traded against the trend. Should not have done that. All right. Do not trade against the trend. Don't trade mid-range. I think what's fucking screwing me up is this Yellow Brick Road study. It's I'm looking at it as if it's on the high and it's going to pull back, but it's against the trend. So I need to join the overall trend with the line study. So let's run down the list of anything. Wow, UVXY is all over the place. Yeah, that's another thing. Bankruptcy doesn't save you from college. That's a bitch of a thing to deal with. Okay, UVXY overall trend down. 20-cent move on UVXY. Set alert here. I'm only trading with the trend. Degaz is on the high. That would have been a good trade right there. Yep, traded against the trend on AMD again. JNUG. JNUG is just so damn choppy. Check out silver futures again, see what they're doing. Silver's pulled back, but it's I'm trying to make these bigger. What just ticked? I feel like my alerts are screwing up. It's not 10:58. Why are my alerts not showing up? All right, it's getting to 11 o'clock, so there's going to be no plays going on. I'm going to fire up my 3D design software, get my 3D printer working. So if you guys want to watch this, check out that video I just linked earlier. Actually, I'll just play it so you guys can see.
Online. Everything.
So this is where it works, and that thing right up there is a green chain pattern. That's actually an aluminum match plate. So what I do is I use a 3D printer to make these things right here, and then send them up to a company who takes them and makes a mold of them and then casts this entire aluminum plate. Yeah, so they cast this entire plate using the patterns, the master patterns that I make with my 3D design software and 3D printer. And I've got a job to do today, actually, to making. Catch this real quick. think I can just save these scenes. I need to build the scenes. Okay. So this pattern is actually a Titman stitcher. This is a leather stitching machine that the maker of Titman paintball gun, Titman Sr. designed. They're up in Fort Wayne. This little handle right here is this pattern. So this, I think these were 3D printed as well. I didn't make this pattern or this particular master pattern. But yeah, you take this master pattern, send it up to a match plating company. This is called a match plate, and they cast this plate using the master. So what I have to do today is I'm actually making the gating for a master pattern. So we already have the master patterns made out of mahogany. They're like 30 years old, but they need new gating, which is this little thing right here. Gating is how the metal gets from the pouring pot to the mold and inside all the cavities. So that right there is the down screw where the metal's going to go into it. And then these two holes are vents for the metal to come out of. Right, and those two are risers. That's basically where you have a really big hot pocket of metal that feeds into the casting to help them fortify throughout the video's a little too loud. Is that better? Can you guys hear a lot easier? You guys saw these not going my way again, so pause this real quick. All of USLV. Looking like it's going to run back up to the 1039 mark. Hoping it would crack the 9 EMA on the 10-minute, but it's not going to do that. I'm just going to get out of it. I'm still profitable for the day minus the UVSY swing. So what is that? 70, 16, 25. So we made about $150 overall. Mistakes were fighting the trend on AMD, going a little too heavy into AMD as well. Momo. Where's my Momo? What was my entry next on Momo? I can't even remember now. Momo, I entered short 49.61. 10.06. 10.06. So this was also another counter trend trade technically. So we have an uptrend overall. It's starting to consolidate, but it's still, this is a consolidation period for the overall. So I'm trying to anticipate, what was the entry? 906 at 49.61. So I was looking for a pullback here and then going short more, but this is a consolidation period. It's been consolidating for a while. There's no indication that it's breaking down yet. So this was, again, fighting the consolidation and trying to anticipate the trend downwards instead of playing with the trend and going long. So I need to look at the overall trend on the 4-hour, the daily, and then only enter onto this range trading with the trend. I need to stop trying to fight the trend. I trade on Axion, so Axion looks like it ended up shorting. Axion, I actually sized up twice on Axion. First entry was 405 at 953. So I was watching this consolidation and waiting for the pop above for a new high a day. So the high a day was right there. I don't think the pre-market. Yeah, so the high a day was right there. I was waiting for it to pop above $4. It was consolidating at 375 for a while, and it was jumping quarter dollars. So I waited for the pop above $4, and then I entered into it at 405. I probably could have limit ordered at $4 and made even more profit for 400 shares, and then it popped back up. It did another pop, and I waited for the pullback and entered at 413, and then it ran up. I got a little scared because it was already overextended like 150%. I did a limit sell or limit buyback, a limit sell at 429 to lock in half my profit, and then it ended up running to up another $0.25, and I decided to sell out at that $0.25 because I figured it was going to pull back because it was already up like 160%, and it hit a high of 464 and then pulled back all the way for a little bit back to the 50-move average. And at this point, I was totally done with the trade. It bounced, came back up to the high, and then pulled back down. Now I wanted to short it. I wanted to short it here, but this is a gap fill play, and I'm not super comfortable or familiar with gap fills. So I just, better to not trade something you don't understand than to try and trade something and just hope for the best. The greatest risk in the stock market is everything you don't understand, and I don't understand a gap fill quite like this. Now, if it had only gapped up like 30% at like 310, I would have easily long this all the way up. Like it would have been an easy long and then an easy short. But because I'm just not familiar with this pattern too much, I wanted to play it safe. Okay, back to this video real quick. Axion would have been a solid short if it was a normal penny stock, but because it was a gap fill, I was a little more leery of shorting it. Yeah. So the pattern makes these indentations in the sand, and then you put the coke and drag together. This is a flask, a magnesium flask, and then you just slide the molds up onto the rail, onto the deck, and then the deck guy ends up pouring the molds. All right, so yeah, that's edge. The 10-cent range. It's not gonna go. Okay, I've got to fire this up. So that's what I'm going to be making is this little thing right here. It's the gating into the casting, and pretty much this is just like a rough model of casting because I don't have 3D models. I just had to draw it off of the blueprints. But now I have to call and make sure and finalize the design. What's the first thing you ever printed? It's actually a Thor hammer. The first pattern I ever made. I've actually got it right here. It's a 15-pound aluminum Thor hammer. This thing. It's I lost the cap to it, but these faces are like 1-inch thick aluminum, and I've beaten the hell out of it, and it just does not dent. It's made out of 713 age-hardened aluminum, so it hardens as it gets older, so it actually increases in strength as it sits around and just does nothing. Let me grab the pattern for you real quick. I'll show you what it looks like. This is the pattern that was used to make it. This is called a core print. Basically, to make the hollowed out inside right here, you have to make a core that's made out of sand, and then you stick it in the mold. So you fill this with sand, and you pull the pattern out, and you put the core, and the core print holds it in place so that you run there's like a solid piece of sand inside here that runs all the way up the shaft, and then it's also held in place right here. And then you have rods that run up all the way out here, like this far, outside of the holes, and these are the screws you pour the metal down in through here and here, and it fills through here, and then it fills this way, and then you have the riser that helps feed it the casting. This is actually made with air set sand instead of green sand, like the video you just saw. It's basically like a chemically binded sand instead of clay and water. Construction. It's you can use play sand, it's silica sand, but it's not a very good choice of sand. It's fine for DIY stuff, but you can get better sand for DIY if you know what you're doing. Joseph, do you have a YouTube channel? Yeah, I actually, Robert, I used to have hair like down to here, and everybody called me Thor. The printer I'm currently using is the Prussia MK2. Um, it's my house is kind of a wreck right now. It's right there. It's bought it brand new for like $900 or $1,200, and then if I'm printing a master pattern, which is used to make a match plate, so it doesn't take any load or anything. I just print it out of PLA. But if I'm making an actual plastic pattern like that one I just showed you to make this Thor hammer, I print out of PETG because it's credit card plastic, so it can be the machine that you saw in that video that squeezes, it hits it with like 10 or 20 or 50,000 pounds of force, and it does that, each time you make a mold, it's hitting it, so you're cycling the pattern, thousands of times. So fatigue plays a major factor in that, or material or structural fatigue. So PETG, because it's so elastic, will last and just take a beating for years and it'll be fine. That particular pattern is actually made out of ABS, which is Lego plastic, but that was printed with a $60,000 printer back in like 2011. My printer here on the desk is only $1,000, and it prints at better quality than the one we bought six or 7 years ago. Okay, so I need to FaceTime real quick on this and finalize the design. Then I got to fire up I'll run the software, the model through the 3D design software. Well, maybe he won't answer. Okay. Okay, well, yeah, people don't realize how much time it takes to edit videos. Like the last video I did that was an hour long, my day trading strategy, I probably had 40 hours into editing that thing. I'm hoping with the eye tracker, it'll be a lot easier because a lot of my editing is doing like the zoom ins and the zoom outs, and uh, I studied a lot of animation when I was learning videography, and I realized if you're doing educational stuff, you need to guide your viewers' eyes so that they know what to look at and when to look at it. That's what animation is. So a lot of my editing is focused around small, really minute things, but it really helps make the video just like that little bit better. Well, since he's not answering, let's try to build a let's try to build a not all the trades from just today, are they? No, this is yesterday. Oh, so does it not show up the trades that you have for the day? Okay. Try to build a if I can speak today, documentation of our trades. Okay. I could probably get a quote on selling these if enough people are interested in them. They'd be somewhere between $60 and $120. It's 15 pounds of aluminum. Aluminum's at like $1.50 right now, so that's 25 or 30 bucks just in material. But you can I've literally hit like cast iron engine blocks with this thing, and I've got like small little scratches on it, but it does not dent, surprisingly, because it's an inch thick. People think aluminum is a weak metal, but using the correct alloy, it is not at all weak. Trello, I have seen people track their trades with Trello, but I'm more of like a statistics. Can you do spreadsheets and statistics on Trello? I thought it was just like a photo thing. All right, let's see if I can import. Create a new. Tagged automatically, separate tab. Yeah, I did want to cast it a solid originally, but my dad wouldn't let me because it was going to be like 80 pounds, um, and it wouldn't have filled. It would have been too much mass of a metal for it to have filled the mold. The mold would have had to have been twice the size as it was, and you would have had to have a riser next to it that is twice as big as the casting itself. So you would have had like a 50 to 80 pound casting here, and then you would have had to have another, 80 to 100 pounds of metal, hot metal, sitting right here, and it would have just been a ridiculously impossible mold to make. Well, it wouldn't have been impossible. It would have been huge to make because you'd have to have all that sand to hold it in place. So he didn't let me do that. But I always have had a idea to get a tungsten sintered version of this hammer made out of tungsten. If I'm ever like super fucking rich and I want to just drop 30 grand on a hammer, I could contact a tungsten sintering center and have it made out of tungsten, which is 4 times heavier than steel. And I think it would weigh, I did the modeling on it once. I think it's either 250 pounds or like 400 pounds of a hammer. So if you ever seen that video on YouTube of the guy that makes the electromagnetic hammer and he sticks it on those, he takes it out to a park and he sticks it on the sewer panels that are, cast steel that are super heavy and nobody can lift them up because it's so damn heavy. You could do that with a tungsten hammer, but you wouldn't need the electromagnet. It would just be so damn heavy that nobody could lift it. You'd have to have like a squat belt and hook it to a chain in order to lift it and move it. Okay, replace that and sell. Okay, so we've got time. I don't know what BS is. Yeah, same size. It would be either 250 or like 400 pounds. But actually, I don't know if. Let me see if this makes. If this tells you mass. I designed in SolidWorks for 10 years, so I'm new to Fusion 360. Where is the center mass? No, not center mass. Hey, nothing. Just got done trading. Yeah, I've got it ready. I just wanted to make sure that everything was correct. Um, yeah, Puerto Vallarta. Oh, so it's on Tillotson? Okay. Okay. All right, see ya. Okay, never mind. I guess I'm not FaceTiming him. He's gonna come get me for lunch. Um, so I guess you guys will meet my dad. But yeah, no, this hammer is would be 250 to 400 pounds out of tungsten. But there is a way to check the weight on this. I just can't remember how it's done. Body. Physical materials. There we go. Metal. I don't know if they have tungsten. No, they don't have tungsten. But you can calculate volume, density, area. Yeah, so you can take the volume of something and calculate the basically do a calculator for the volume to the mass per cubic inch. So let's draw a Thor hammer real quick. Where's my dial calipers? Uh, oh, here they are. Half. Now I need a tape measure. Ten-inch hammer or handle. Five and a half. Okay, so 260 cubic inches. Go to tungsten. It'd be 180 pounds. Yeah, 180 pound Thor hammer at this size. Yeah, you could probably make it a bit heavier. I just change around a few dimensions. Do 9 by 6.5. Then change the handle. Inch and 3/4. That ups it almost 100 cubic inches, 345. Now it'd weigh 240 pounds. You would have to have a some kind of mechanism to lift it up. It'd take 2 people. Gold's actually pretty low density. Or no, gold's never really messed with gold. What is gold's cubic? Um, Tungsten. I want If it was made out of gold, it'd weigh. Oh, is gold really that dense? 230 pounds? Gold is, oh wow, gold is really heavy. It's super soft though. It's not, now, lead is not heavier than tungsten. I believe tungsten is the heaviest stable metal. So tungsten's a really interesting metal from a metallurgical standpoint and a refractory standpoint. So tungsten melts at like 4,000 something degrees. It's the strongest metal known to man that's naturally occurring. Now you get into alloys and stuff or super alloys, and that's a different story. But ceramics are made of metal oxides. So the furnace that you saw in that video that holds the aluminum is made from aluminum oxide and magnesium oxide, or not magnesium oxide. It might have mag in it a little bit, but and each mag has its own, each oxide has its own like resistance property. There is no there's no refractory material that is capable of holding molten tungsten. If you melt tungsten, it will burn through anything that it touches. There's no substance that can possibly contain it when it's in its molten form. So in order to make tungsten, they actually do a process called sintering, where I think they use carbon. Because carbon is one of the most simple and inert and dense materials you can use. I think it's carbon. They basically superheat a powder of tungsten. They break down tungsten into fine grain, and then they fill it into a mold, and they hit it with heat and pressure. And a lot of times they'll put it in it's basically like a supersized industrial vac or pressure cooker. In the movie where they talk about Thor making his hammer out of a dying star, basically that's like compressing it to make it super dense and heavy. They actually do that in real life. It's called hot isostatic pressing. And this is actually how they make fake diamonds and fake gemstones, where so aluminum is made out of, or sapphire is made from aluminum, super dense aluminum. Well, looks like he's here, so I'll continue this at another time. Come in. Once I get back from lunch, I will end up making the spreadsheet, and I'll explain the rest of this stuff. But right now, I got to show them this. So this is it right here.
Who are you talking to?
I'm doing a live stream right now on my trading.
For who?
So the photo that I took of it, the top side is all in the code. Is that correct? How you want it? You want to get it like that?
Yeah, that's all right. You don't put Phillips in there. I tell you what, I'm gonna talk to. Hey Joey, how you doing? Not bad. I'm gonna talk to George. We might want to put some riser pads around that thing.
On
right here,
the corners. Okay.
Yeah. That's good enough right now.
So that's the only thing that's in the. Wait, is it random drag or the coat?
It's around the coat. This is the coat.
Okay.
We're gonna offset it a couple inches.
Okay. So this is the offset. I got that drawn too.
Yeah.
Or the parting.
Does it fit?
Barely. What kind of I put 100,000s between the lip.
Yeah, all right. Put you at 3 seconds.
That's a 2.5 inch gate almost.
Yeah, that's good. Put 3 seconds, fill it, and then just put 1/8 inch radiuses around the. Or you can do 3 seconds.
Okay.
Or actually a 16th around here.
Okay.
Just 30 seconds, fill it. Just say, well, we got the master. Tell you what, yeah, maybe you ought to be. How thick are you there from the top to the?
38,000s or 380,000s.
No, from the top of the gate to the top of the part.
100,000s.
I have to check that radius that's on that pattern. Did you happen to know what it is? The radius around this edge.
Did I do one?
You know what the radius? What kind of radius is on that pattern they put there? I don't know that they showed it.
No.
Yeah. Let me check that. I'll call you back. We may want to drop that height down to, you say you're 93.
I'm at 100,000s right now. I'm sure there's a radius there.
Yeah, we may want to drop that to 125 from the top. Then put a 3 seconds filling in there. That'll give us. They should have a. I just don't want to have to blend a radius. I don't have to grind around that top. One of the other things too, they may machine that, Garen. Let's just leave it alone. Talk to Terry.
All right.
But the guy, just do your standard Phillips around your gating
And that one guy wants a quote on me 3D designing some stuff.
He sent a model. Did you get the model?
I haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah, just look at it. What he wants you to do is do the CAD work to get him ready to cut the tooling.
Okay.
So he's got a pattern in the core box. I haven't looked at it yet.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Let me check something real quick. All right, I'm gonna close down the stream. I'll be back in probably like an hour or so, and I'll build the spreadsheet and tracking trades. See you guys.